We're about to show you how you can save thousands of dollars on your next trip to Europe. You don't want to miss this.
If we haven't met, we're Jana and Brett, dual Italian-American citizens and lovers of all things Swiss. We've harnessed the power of travel credit cards to visit more than 30 European countries, to fly across the ocean in business class for pennies, to snag free nights in top dollar hotels, get reimbursed for the cost of our rental cars, and so much more. In fact, we think that we have saved more than $30,000 on travel over the last 7 years simply by using travel credit cards. Now that's our travel money saving story, and we want to help you pen a similar one too.
There's lots of info out there about the best travel credit cards, but today we're gonna walk you through the 4 biggest expenses threatening to break the budget on your next trip to Europe and show you the best travel credit card in each category to put cash back into your pockets. But hang around, because we're not just telling you which cards we recommend, we're gonna show you exactly how much money you could save with each one or with a combination of these cards. So if you're ready to save some money while traveling Europe, let's go.
Now, before we dig in, it's important we mention a few quick things. First, the cards and offers we mentioned in this video are likely only available to you if you're a US resident. If that excludes you, we are so sorry that we can't help you with these exact money-saving strategies, but the opportunities were so good that we wanted to share them with you anyway, even if all of you can't take advantage. Second, we are not financial advisors, so none of this information is a personal recommendation about what you should do. We're just a normal couple who's had some incredible travel experiences thanks to points and miles, and we wanted to share what we've learned with you. Third, we popped a link in the description below to our website, which you can use to find all of these cards and more. In full transparency, if you sign up through our website and get approved, we may earn a small commission. Now, this comes at no cost to you, but we are genuinely grateful for the commissions because they support us to continually create helpful travel content. So anytime you go to sign up for a credit card, if you do so through our website, we would be so grateful. But okay, enough disclaimers, let's get to the good stuff.
When you're planning your European vacation, one of the biggest costs and one of the first things you'll want to book will be flights. A standard round-trip flight between the US and Europe in economy can often be had for 60,000 points, depending on the airline. So is it possible to find one card that can completely cover that cost? Why, yes. Yes, there is. And our pick for the best travel credit card for flights to Europe is the Chase Sapphire Preferred. With the current offer, you'll have at least 64,000 of what's called Chase Ultimate Rewards points after meeting a minimum spending requirement on the card. And when transferred to a United Airlines frequent flyer account, those 64,000 points could be just enough to get you to Europe and back. Now, there is a $95 annual fee, which is true of most of the cards on this list. But if you keep focused on what's most important, which is earning points to pay for your flights to Europe, then you will absolutely get a ton of value out of this card. Remember, stay tuned to the end where we'll share exactly how much this card or a combination of these cards could save you. But for now, let's talk about accommodations. Let's say you've already booked your flights and you're getting ready to reserve lodging like hotels or Airbnbs. Once again, a travel credit card could be totally clutch. Our pick for the best travel credit card for lodging is the Citi Premier Card. With the current offer, you'll have at least 64,000 of what's called Citi Thank You points after meeting the minimum spending requirement. One of the things we love about Citi Thank You points is that you can exchange them for Airbnb gift cards at a better value than most other points programs. And those 64,000 points would get you, well, hang on, we'll do the math at the end. Flights and lodging represent a huge chunk of the cost of any trip to Europe. But once you land in Europe, you're still gonna need to get around. Whether you're renting a car, traveling by train, or sticking to the cities and riding the metro, you'll be paying for transportation during your trip. And our pick for the best travel credit card for transportation is actually 2 cards, the Capital One Venture and Capital One Venture X. I'll tell you a little about the differences in each card here in a moment, but here's the scoop. With the current offers, you'll have at least 83,000 of what's called Capital One Venture miles on either card after meeting the minimum spending requirement. What we love about Venture miles is how easy and flexible they are to use. You simply use your card to pay for your car rental, your Swiss train pass, train tickets, or another travel expense, and then you have up to 90 days to reimburse yourself with the miles in your account. They call it Purchase Eraser, and I think that's an awesome name. If you have enough points, you'll literally wipe the charge off your account. Travel expenses like train passes and train tickets are often hard to pay for using points and miles, but both of these cards make that easy. So what's the deal with the Venture X? Well, for starters, it comes with a much higher annual fee of $395. But before you roll your eyes, if you're the right kind of traveler, this card could easily pay for itself because of all the perks that come with it. It comes with a $300 annual travel credit for flights, hotels, and rental cars booked through the Capital One travel portal, Priority Pass membership, giving you and up to 2 guests access to 1,200 plus airport lounges around the world, a reimbursement of the application fee for TSA PreCheck or Global Entry, which makes travel days way smoother, and so much more. If you think you can make use of the $300 travel credit, then all the other perks just sweeten the pot, and you'll find that it's well worth splurging for the Venture X, currently my favorite travel credit card.
These are some pretty sweet deals, right? If you're already impressed by these travel credit card perks, then hit that like button and let's keep going.
One final category that often gets overlooked when discussing points and miles is food, but we easily could have just called this everything else. Our pick for the best travel credit card for food and incidentals is the Bank of America Premium Rewards Card. With the current offer, you'll have at least 54,500 Bank of America points after meeting the minimum spending requirement. And we love that these points are so beginner friendly. Like with Capital One Venture Miles, you simply pay with the card when you eat at a restaurant or shop at the grocery store, and then use those points to reimburse yourself for those charges. But the best part is, you can do this for any expense of any kind, so you don't have to limit it to just food. Want to buy a local SIM card? Check. See a neat souvenir you want to buy? Check. It's that easy. On top of the points you earn, you can also get your TSA PreCheck or Global Entry application fee reimbursed, and reimburse up to $100 in airline incidental charges every year.
Ready to talk specific money-saving strategies for each card? If you're a math nerd, you're probably going to love this part. But if numbers overwhelm you, we're going to keep it simple enough that I think you'll still be wowed by these savings.
If you open the Chase Sapphire Preferred card to help with your flights, then it's highly likely you'll earn enough points to pay for your round-trip flight from the US to Europe. With flights averaging $1,300 during the summer tourist season, the points you earn from this card would yield $1,200 in value even after deducting the annual fee. You'll have to pay some airline fees, which are often as low as $5.60 each way, but even if they're quite a bit higher, you won't have any trouble saving at least $1,000 with this card. If you open the Citi Premier Card and use those points for Airbnb gift cards, you'll have at least $640 to work with, depending on when you apply for the card. But we recently saw an offer that would have given you enough points for $840 in Airbnb gift cards. Subtracting the annual fee, that's $555 to $755 you could save on an Airbnb. And looking at Airbnbs near Interlaken, Switzerland, for example, you'll find that there are plenty available for between $1,100 and $1,400 a week, meaning you could cut your costs by half. For the Capital One Venture, let's use an example of what transportation costs might look like. Let's say you're visiting the Swiss Alps, one of our favorite areas, and using our Ultimate Swiss Train Pass guide, you decided to buy the half-fare card plus the 6-day Berner Oberland Regional Train Pass for your 1-week trip. That'll cost you about $370 at the current exchange rate, plus your train tickets to and from the airport will cost another $80 for a total of $450. If you open the Capital One Venture, you could fully cover this cost and have $285 left over after subtracting the annual fee. And finally, with the Bank of America Premium Rewards Card, you'd have a net value of $450 after subtracting the annual fee, which you could put 100% to groceries or restaurant bills during your trip.
So you can see how any one of these cards can have a major positive impact on your travel budget. But the real power comes from combining these cards.
Let's say you take a year or so to open each of these cards, meet the minimum spending requirements, and build up your points and miles balances. Well, here's what that could mean for your next trip to Europe. Your flights could be fully booked by your Chase Ultimate Rewards points, except for as little as $11.20 in fees, which you could cover with your Capital One Venture miles if you'd like. Your train passes and train tickets could be completely paid for using those venture miles. You could save up to $1,025 on an Airbnb using a combination of Airbnb gift cards purchased with your Citi Thank You points and those leftover venture miles. Plus, you could shave $450 off of your food budget. Altogether, that's a possible $3,125 you could save on your next trip to Europe after deducting annual fees just by leveraging the power of these 4 travel credit cards. But speaking of budgets, what do you need to know about planning your budget for a trip to the Swiss Alps?
Well, we made this video to help with that. We dig into actual cost using a real trip itinerary, and we share loads of tips that we've learned along the way to help make your next trip to Switzerland a little more budget friendly. So watch that next, and we'll see you in Switzerland or Italy or somewhere else in Europe.